Hello, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video is a detailed brow tutorial. So first, if you do your brows after skin work, you want to go in with your setting powder to mattify the cream on that area, because you've used primer, you've used foundation, all those liquid formulas that you've applied. You need your setting powder to mattify them. That way your eye pencil can slide without feeling greasy or anything. And then you want to go in with your spoolie brush just to spool out the excess powder and excess product that is left on the brows. So the second step is my brow tamer and my spoolie brush. So what the brow tamer does is it helps you define and set your eyebrows in place. And my method of applying my brow tamer onto the brows is moving it in an opposite direction and back to the right direction. That way I get the product to get into every strand, and that way it just gives me that perfect defined tamed look. And then I just use my finger to just press it on and make sure that the product is well distributed. And now step 3, I'll be using the Hegai&Esther brow gel in Nubia and a flat angle brush. So what I did was, when I took the brow gel, if you notice the brush had one strand that was just standing, I used the brow gel to just bring the separated brush strands together. And then now when I'm applying my brow gel on the brows, I am always very precise, because however you apply it is what you're going to get. So you want to take it slow and just apply it carefully. And when I do my brows, I take my time. I do not hurry, especially when I'm using a gel. I do not hurry. And when I do my brows, look at it, I did not start from the beginning because I want the natural looking beginning brows. So I took my hand back a little bit, and on the upper part I even took my hand further back. And this is how I try to at least achieve a defined brow shape before I start filling it in. I take a lot of time in defining my brows, so you can see, because this is a point where you actually get a visual representation of what your brows will look like. So you want this to be as defined as possible before you move to the next step. And after using my brow gel, I now go in with the OG Davis pencil in color 3, and this is what I use in filling the brows. So now I'm just creating strands and just following the natural strand that she has. And in your head, you know what the strand looks like. You know that from the beginning of the brows to almost the center, your hair strands are straight, and then from the center to the end, it is always a bit slanted. So I am slanting from the tail to the center before I begin to straighten up my hand a little bit and just go like that. And this is how I feel my brows. Look at it. This is how I feel my brows to look natural. This is how I feel my brows to have the illusion of full strands. So just like this is how I go. And always make sure to sharpen your pencil. Once you feel like it's not sharpened enough, sharpen it. I think sometimes I even use one pencil like maybe twice and it's finished. So always sharpen your pencil. When it's sharper, you will get a defined stroke. If it's not, you won't get a good stroke. Now look at this, even without being concealed or anything, it looks defined and perfect. I could literally just slay this and just move on. But next up, I'm going to be going in with concealer, and I use the Huda Beauty Faux filter concealer, and I use 2 shades lighter than her skin tone in concealing the bottom part of the brows. And I'm using another angle brush, a flat angle brush, to just conceal. Remember, where I started the pencil is where I'm concealing. I'm not concealing the beginning of the brows. You want to take your hand from where you actually drew the first brow gel. That way you maintain the natural looking beginning of your brows and just conceal it. And also the same way I apply the gel, which I kind of like in a precise and a slow method, just so I get it right. You want to take your time and make sure your hand is as straight as possible and just have that perfect curve that you want with your brows before moving on onto the upper part. And when you're concealing the upper part of your brows, please use the foundation color, do not use the concealer. I didn't wipe this brush well, so it still had a bit of the lighter shade of concealer, but I was able to blend it out afterwards. So you just want to use the same angle brush and just conceal the upper part. And when you're doing the upper part of your brows, you do not need too much foundation or concealer. Less is more, that way you just have a seamless blend. And now your final step, which is to set it with a powder. So for the upper part, you want to go in with your skin like shade of powder, and the lower part depends on your preference. If you want to have that natural looking without so much highlight, you can also go in with your shade of powder, but if you want that highlighted look, you can go in with 1 or 2 shades lighter shade of powder. And I'm just blending it and trying to diffuse into the contour of the nose and down to the crease of the eyes. That way it makes my eyeshadow application easier and just everything just blends. And here we have it with the brows. Details of the products used in this tutorial will be left in the description, and thank you all for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Like this video, drop a comment on what you'd like to see me create next, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.